Hey, Stevie GB here, and it's time for, lesson 2, really lesson 1 of Start Up Your Stand-Up. All right, like I promised you in the last episode, today we're going to focus on writing, okay? Because to me, writing is the most important thing to creating a stand-up comedy act. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to write. I've read tons of books on writing. And, they all give you these crazy options. Write every day, write at 9 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock with no interruptions, staring out a window at beautiful scenery. If that works for you, fine. If you need to go to some, abandoned hotel up in the mountains of Maine and write, and then axe your family to death, if that works for you to get a good routine, then fine. Everybody's different, but I do encourage you to write. Okay, now what I do is I've tried many different things. I'm not as organized as you'd believe I would be. Normally I carry around a little notebook. Sometimes I use this giant notebook. Of course, I can't fit this in my pocket, but if I have like little scribbled notes, I'll scribble notes and stuff on a piece of paper. And I'd come back and I would, then transcribe it into, handwritten. I have some things on computers and laptops and, in my phone. Maybe you want to use Post-it notes. I don't care. I don't care what you do. Just write. Okay. Another great idea is get yourself one of these little tape recorders. They're relatively inexpensive. And these are great for taping your sets, which you should also do. We'll get into that later. But it's also good to be just hang around, open it up, and hey, you come up with an idea. And you don't have to write an entire dialogue. You're just going to write a premise. You saw something crazy in the mall. Why do women wear yoga pants to go shopping if they're not shopping for yoga? I don't know. It's a crappy joke. But, anything that sparks your creativity, it's important to write it down because you're going to forget it. You know how many bits I've written that were brilliant that I forgot because I didn't write it down? So anything you observe or think about or pops into your head, write it down. And then later if you want to sit down at a computer or sit down with a notebook and actually longhand write it, good. But the important thing is your writing. And you should write as often as possible. Now, me, myself, I get like creative surges. I could go weeks with writing nothing, and I think this is it. Every comedian thinks that they've already written their last great joke, and they're done. They're not going to come up with anything original ever again. But it's not true. You're always going to write. And I encourage you also to write everything, just even if it's crap, just write it. It doesn't have to be good. It just has to be something. And then you eventually, maybe you play it around. Maybe it's not going to work. Maybe you're just going to, play it around in your head. And eventually it develops into something you could add to your routine. Now, it's very important that you write specifically for yourself. Okay, this is key. I suggest that you sit down and analyze yourself. What are you? Are you a white guy, a black guy? Are you a fat guy? Are you a Jewish guy? Are you a girl? Guy. No, a girl. A woman, female, male. You've got to write from the perspective that you come from, that you are. I can't be going around doing fat guy, black jokes because, I'm not a fat African American. It's just not me. The audience is, I don't believe it. If you don't believe what you're writing, the audience sure as hell is not going to believe what you're saying to them. So you have to believe it. You have to write from a place where you come from. All right? So write your life story. It doesn't have to be funny. Sit down. Write your life story. Where were you born? Where did you grow up? What neighborhood? What were the kids like in your neighborhood? What was school like? What were your parents like? What was your Aunt Mabel like? Or your Uncle Jessica? It can happen. You can have an Uncle Jessica. Figure it out and write about it. And it doesn't have to be funny. Just write about them and then something will develop. That's it. Our time's up for now. That's the end of episode 2. We're going to do more writing in the next episode. I think writing deserves at least 2 or 3, or maybe 4 or 5. Oh, 5, 10. Okay. Thank you. I love you. Goodbye. Please share this. Leave your comments below, and tell me what you think. All right. Love you. Bye.